Welcome in, everyone. It is your Clippers pregame show starting up at 6:30 here. I'm Adam Oslin, live from Intuit Dome. Clippers taking on the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. For those in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. And those are the only people I'm talking to now, since we're not on the Patriot AM 1150 yet. Let me know if you guys got me. If you're joining the chat, if you're joining the pregame. I know many people will be watching the Dodger game, listening to the Dodger game. I believe it's on AM 640 right now. Having some issues with AM 570. Not affecting the Clippers as we're on the Patriot AM 1150 once again, which is great. No issues. All right. Mervin said loud and clear. What's up, my guy? I got to say, I don't normally drink Coke Zero. It is better than Diet Coke. 34 grams of caffeine per 12 ounces. I'll take that. Not typically my thing, but had to pivot. So we got about 22 minutes before the pregame show starts. I'll get my notes up here. Let's just listen to a conversation about the Portland Trail Blazers and what to look forward to from their side this season, which they're in a tough spot. And the Clippers have to take advantage of that. This is a big game in some ways. Some are calling it as close as you can get to a must-win game in Game 4 of the regular season, tonight's Clippers game. I know it sounds crazy, but you just can't give any games away this year. We've seen that too often in the past with teams that were more talented than this Clippers team that would play down to their competition. That cannot happen tonight here at Intuit Dome. Lakers getting crushed by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Thought that might happen. Was hoping it would happen. I ain't mad at it. But here to focus on the Clippers. You guys want me to flip this around so you can see? Proof that I'm an Intuit Dome and I'm not on a blue screen anymore. Green screen. I guess you can use a blue screen too, but why is the green screen the standard? Is it just that way, or are there really advantages to it? If you noticed, I have that set up now, a little green screen back at home, but it is good to be at the Dome. Dome is home. Yeah, this is a game where you just can't have a letdown, not after what occurred this weekend. That would take, pardon the expression, the wind out of their sails a little bit, and with Clipper Nation too. This is a must-win type of situation, as close as you can get to that early in the season. Because you play Portland 4 times, I think all 4 have to be wins. Joe Rosenfeld said, I hope you shut down Jeremy Grant so we can put casuals trade fantasies of acquiring him to rest. Hoping for it to happen similar to Zoo's 30-29 game. For real? Mio said, Pride Night shirts. Yep. They got, check this out. Check out the wall. If you can see it. Pretty cool. Earlier, I had a really surreal experience. It's not like I couldn't have had it before, but I've never sought it out. But courtside, if you follow me at Clippers Talk on the TikTok, I had a video of Kai Jones, throwing down a lob as he does. But I was sitting courtside and just one seat down from Steve Ballmer. And it was just one of those surreal moments where it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. God bless Steve Ballmer, who has got to be the most genuine, down to earth owner, maybe in the history of sports. Just real and surreal just to be sitting next to him. Not that I was listening into a conversation or anything like that, but I could hear him, not on a microphone for once, just a couple seats down from me. Steve Ballmer is Steve Ballmer. And God bless him. We love him for it. Just feel lucky. Clipper Nation, you are blessed. You got the best owner in the league. I can confirm. This is the guy that is going to get this team to the promised land. He will not stop. Joe Rosenfeld said, similar to how Zoo shut down Miles Turner, acquisition fantasies to rest. I got you. I remember that. Pro Bowley said, looking ready for business, Adam. Business is good. Alfredo Rodriguez said, hi, everyone. Hi, Adam. Hi, Alfredo. If you're a Dodger fan and you're with us, I know it's been a tough time. What are they, down 5-0? The Bats have awoken from the Yankees. Yeah, Mio, lucky he's our owner. Couldn't have lucked out any harder. You go from the worst owner in sports to the best. That's just incredible. I say it all the time. I know it's played out, but if ownership is the biggest advantage in sports, and I believe it is, then the Clippers were at a disadvantage for about 4 years until they got Ballmer. And in some ways, I felt like this. I've been saying this for a couple of seasons. It feels like this is a new team, a new franchise since Steve Ballmer bought them. So you're in good hands. It is special to have an owner like this. You got to appreciate that. I know there's still, hard times, and 2-1-3 era didn't work out like we wanted, and the injury plagued Clippers, and that still seems to be their, I ain't going to call it a curse, but they've been snake bit by injuries. But the blessing side of it is Steve Ballmer. Anything good in catering? I don't know. I brought a protein bar. I'm not messing with it. Trying to live right. I'm sure there was. The food looks good. The food's way better here than it was at Staples and Crypto. Just everything's better. Just better. Better. So we're about 15 minutes away from tip-off. We'll be on the Patriot AM 1150 and the iHeart app. There's a Clippers channel also. But we got the pregame for you here on the YouTube side, and, of course, the postgame show on the YouTube side. I know there's some issues with taking calls right now, and for you guys being able to hear it on the YouTube side, and that's probably not going away for home games, at least. Away games, you can hear the calls, but not home games. But try to make it work, and I'll indirectly or however I do it, give a synopsis of the call so you guys know what the caller was saying on this side before I respond to it. Alfredo Rodriguez said, I feel that Jerry West should also get some praise. Of course. He added credibility, legitimacy to this franchise. We miss him. Alfredo said he helped reform the franchise completely, got them up to speed after years of suffering from Donald Sterling. Yep. Big RR64 said Steve Ballmer's a great owner, one of the best in all professional sports, probably the best. I don't know. I've never had that moment where I was just chilling next to him for 20 minutes. And he was in his element, describing the arena to somebody, the vision of it, why they did it this way. And, it wasn't a setting where it was a group setting. I was talking to Justin Russo, but just from what I heard, it was just cool not to hear him on mic, but just get to hear him actually next to me. And he's the same guy. And it's just, I don't know, down to earth, salt of the earth. Really, really, really cool. High character. This stuff matters. Clips for Die says, so that means no Clippers after dark, Taco Bell or McDonald's? Why does it mean that? We can still do that later. Even on a back-to-back, I might be up for it. We'll see what happens. See if these Coke Zeros can keep me going. No, I got backup. You know that. Got 2 books of lyrics, one for action, one for backup. If I have to pop out a 5-hour energy, then I do. Things aren't going well for the Dodgers. Just Big Brother Jake Warner let me know. I didn't do any of this. Just give me the look, guys. You Remember that episode of Home Improvement, The Look? It's a good one. Big bro, heart beating out chest. It's kind of a big deal. Dodgers, Yankees, you know. Clippers, Blazers game. Big deal to me. Big deal to Clipper Nation. Big deal tonight here at Intuit Dome. Every game's a big deal. As much as I know people were disappointed and some of the expectations are in the place they were the last 5 years, and Brian Seaman put this best when he came on Clippers Talk, it makes every game that much more meaningful when it's not a guarantee, when the Clippers aren't supposed to win by 20. Tonight, yeah, they're taking on lesser competition, and they're clearly the favorite, but it's not going to be like this a lot. So every game feels critical, like a playoff type of setting, like they got to have it. That's what's going to make this season special. They're going to have, as Will Updike has mentioned, probably the most clutch time minutes played. They're at the top of the league, I think, still, even just through 3 games. Other teams have played 4 at this point. That is not going away. They're going to be in tight games. I hope this one isn't in favor of the Clippers. I hope they can handle business because they do have a very good Suns team that they need to get revenge on tomorrow night. But they're going to be in a lot of tight contests. So I know it's stressful, but that's also what you want.
I need to test something real quick.
All right.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me? Check, check, check. Zach. Check, check, check. Test 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Can you send me some audio down the line when you get a chance, sir? Please. I don't hear nothing, bro. Hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Clippers up on a 5-game global. They're looking to go 3-1 on the young season. It's Clippers, Blazers coming up next. Oh, yeah. Dougie, how you gonna top that right there, man? I just don't know.
I hear it now. You hear me okay? There we go. All right, cool, man. I got scared for a minute. Okay. Yes, sir. As you were, Adam.
We're back up. That was the voice of Big Brother Jake Warner taking care of us here, our head engineer, the prof. Podcast One legend, Big Brother Jake podcast. Yeah, the Blazers, they're struggling as expected, of course, but they did get a big victory over the Pelicans. They had a 2-game mini series at home in Portland early this season. They lost the first game by 2 on a Brandon Ingram bucket and then won the second game loudly in a big way. So they have talent, guys. Like this league, you have a letdown one night, you come around these parts, you can get got. You will get got. Like the Clippers cannot slip up. They just cannot. They got to get to 3-1 with the possibility of getting to 4-1 tomorrow night. That's what we want to see here. And these are the games that are going to tell us about the Clippers' mindset. Are they locked in and focused no matter who they're playing? Tonight, we find that out against Portland. I did post a Jordan Miller highlight pregame. He went through an extensive workout, as did Kobe Brown. I'm not saying that portends anything or can lead you to believe that they're playing, but I think if the Clippers could handle business and put Portland away, and not let things get dicey, then maybe, yeah, we would see Jordan Miller. But I just don't want to overlook this Portland Trailblazers team. There's too much talent still. There is. I know they're 29th offensively. I know they're struggling. And if the Clippers defense comes out and establishes Clamp City right off the bat, then maybe they can get a lead. But I don't want to assume anything this early in the season, especially. Big RR64 said, I bet the Pelicans thought they would beat them easily. That's why you can't take no games for granted in the NBA. You got to play hard every night. I agree with you. This is the league. This is what it takes. Zach, can you hear me too? Everything good?
Yeah, we shouldn't be hearing him in a return. What's that mean? I just want anything you could feed me so I can hear it. Besides us. Thank you, sir.
Zach, were you able to find some zoo highlights in that rewind for me? No? Did you get my email? I sent it to Katie. She said send it to you. So there's Coach Lou, but before that, looking for some zoo highlight package. M7MD Boys said Harden will no longer have to have this carry job once Zubats and Derek reach new heights this season. They'll be the ones to help James when his age starts showing. I hope so, but they don't play point guard, so I don't know how much they're going to be able to help in that area. What the Clippers need is another ball handler to emerge to take the burden and the load off of James Harden. Big Zoo is most definitely coming through. Big RR64. Thank you, ST. Me too. I think the reason, guys, I know there have been a lot of complaints about Kevin Porter Jr., what's he done so far. It's 3 games. He had an entire year off. It makes sense he'd have to knock off some rust. Big R64 said, I love James Harden's game. He's a terrific point guard. And he's only shooting 36% from the field and 19% from the outside so far. So he's really struggling with his shot and still has been this impactful for the Clippers. They don't win the 2 games over the weekend without him. You know the first rule, Bonesaw. Don't violate it. Don't do it. Just because he's in town tonight, don't do it. So I want to see if Kevin Porter Jr. doesn't start to turn things around and the game doesn't slow down for him. That's a problem. Player of the game predictions. I got mine. I ain't telling yet. Mikey Lapp says, if the Clippers don't win big, I'm going to be upset. I don't want Harden playing over 30 minutes. I understand that. I don't want him to either. They got a game tomorrow against Phoenix. Sky, you can hear me. I think. Big RR64 said he's just an awesome point guard. He just knows how to control the game so well. It's a pleasure to watch him. Zachary says, in the house tonight. Fourth row wall passing. Let's take tonight seriously and lean into the defense and get KPJ going. Would love to get some in-game load management. That's my favorite kind. I'm with you. T-minus 3 minutes. Alfredo says Clippers have to take these lottery teams seriously. Mess around, they could inadvertently turn Portland into a playoff team, perhaps others. I don't know if they could turn Portland into a playoff team. You mean get them playing like one? I think Portland's going to have a tough time getting into the play-in. They're likely finishing at the bottom of the West and are in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Big R64 is going with Big Zoo for his player of the game. Starting in just over a minute here. Isn't it always the most consequential in history? We get with Zubat stuff, Zach? Is it okay that I checked with you? Welcome into Clippers Countdown, where your LA Clippers are back at Intuit Dome tonight for the first of a home back-to-back, starting this evening against the Portland Trail Blazers, who may be 1-3 and are in the Capture the Flag sweepstakes for Cooper Flag in next year's draft. But don't tell that to the talented players like Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, and a big man, DeAndre Ayton, who's eating at 14 and 10 per night right now. But the Clippers have a big man who's feasting while getting 23 points per game and leading the league in rebounding at 14 boards. I'm talking about Big Zoo of Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac with his third straight 20-point game. Finished with 23 and 18. Harden had 23 and 11 assists. Norman Powell had 20, and the Clippers would win 112-104 up in San Francisco over the Golden State Warriors on Sunday. Here was Coach Lue on winning another close contest down the stretch and what it says about his team. Now, can the Clippers continue to prove they have a standard for how they want to play no matter the game and opponent? As tonight, it'll be a good test to find out if they can lock in and not look past anyone with the Portland Trail Blazers in town. Tip time from Intuit Dome is just about 60 minutes away. Coming up, Coach Lue will be here, and Joey Lynn from SI Now will join me. But up next, it's your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
All right, let me see something here. Check. I hear. Check. Check. All right. Check. You still hear us okay, Zach? Okay. It was something on my end. I apologize. No, I didn't. What's up? Oh, I just saw it right now. There we go. Safe.
What's up, chat? Can you still hear me? Can you see Carlo now? Are you good? Are you excited?
Are you asking me?
Not you.
Oh, okay, sorry. What up, chat? So
No, Washington is not doing that trade, JNCTN. They can get a lot more than that.
who does he want?
Y'all got to stop with these unrealistic trades, or that's going to turn into a timeout. He says, we need a trade for Kuzma. A package of Tucker, Bones, Coffee, and Kobe works for him.
Yeah, if the Washington GM has never watched a basketball game before.
Did you hear? Did you hear that? Take notes. Just because they had a relationship with Michael Winger doesn't mean he's doing the Clippers any favors. They're trying to win too. They're trying to get better too.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
And the Clippers and Chris Dunn got that dog in them.
Did you see we got Ryan Dunn, and the Phoenix Suns are calling Ryan Dunn the Dungeon?
I saw that. People have been talking about it on here, saying we're competing against Ryan Dunn, and tomorrow night's game may determine who gets the Dungeon nickname.
I can get behind that.
Clippers taking on the Portland Trail Blazers tonight here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off just about 57 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show for your LA Clippers. Still to come, you're going to hear from the head coach, Terance Mann, but joining me right now is your radio voice of the Clippers. That would be Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, my friend, how are we doing?
Adam, we're doing so good. It is good to see you. It's good to be here, and it's great to be back home. Clippers haven't been here in feels like quite some time, even though it's only been a week, and we're back, baby. And now we got some time in this building.
5-game homestand here at Intuit Dome.
5 stands good though. I like that.
5 stand. Starting five, stand up. I don't know where my mind was going with that, but
Finger stand would be like a 5 stand.
okay, a camera stand, a different stanchion with 5.
Ooh.
Look, we're going all over the place. All I know is we're staying right here at Intuit Dome for the next 5 ball games, and the Clippers have a chance to really settle in and establish themselves here at Intuit Dome with the beautiful wall, with everyone here. Tonight they're taking on the Portland Trailblazers. But let's go back to what happened on Sunday against the Golden State Warriors first, because Big Zoo, I talked about it pregame already, but he is feasting right now. 3rd straight 20-point game after he never had 2 in a row. He's made it 3 in a row. He's dominating. I know Golden State plays small, but the fact that the Clippers were finding him over and over again. And on your call, you talked about that in-and-out dribble he had where he got it to the rim for a big throwdown to punish them after he looked off the defense a little bit. So the game's slowing down. He's getting featured more. Everything's working right now in the low post with Big Zoo, and we're seeing the Clippers lead the league in points in the paint.
It really is a revelation for a team, Adam, that doesn't have all the size in the world, yet is dominating the painted area so far in their first 3 games. And what's exciting about the way Zubac is playing is he's very patient, and he's also passing the basketball at a high level, averaging 4 assists in the 3 games to start the season. He had 6 at him against Golden State. Ivica Zubac not only being the facilitator, but also the dominator inside. We do have Dominating on the other side today, though, so I don't know about that Dominator nickname. A lot of battle of the nicknames coming up. But Ivica Zubac, you thought maybe he would have a slower start because he played with Olympic qualifying in Croatia, didn't really get the summer off. That's been the opposite case. He has been out of the gates on fire so far for the Clippers. James Harden, as everyone says, makes his big man better, but Big Zoo has taken another step from where he was last year when he first started to play with James Harden.
Of course, he is the defensive anchor for the 3rd best defense when it comes to ratings so far this season with your Los Angeles Clippers. And they had just an incredible possession late in the 4th quarter of that ball game where it ended with a block. It was by Norman Powell in the far side corner, but it started with Chris Dunn making 2 defensive plays. Then he ended up saving the basketball after the block by, who was it? It was Norman Powell, but it was on Buddy Hield, I think, in the far side corner.
Yep.
And it just is kind of emblematic of who this team has been so far this season and illustrates how much effort they're showing on the defensive end. It led to a long 2-pointer. It turned out by Norman Powell on the other side after a pass from Big Zoo. A nice one, as you mentioned, his passing. But this Clippers team, it's defense to offense, but it is defense and then some right now.
It really is. This defense, Adam, is 3rd in defensive rating, and they played 3 top 10 offenses so far. They haven't played teams that don't play well on the offensive end. They played some of the best offenses in the league, and yet are top 3 in the league on that defensive side of the basketball. And they're missing a defensive player of the year in Kawhi Leonard. So you think about what is next for this Clipper team, what's on the horizon. They've bought into this system. I mean, that's been clear. Guys have talked about that openly. Derrick Jones Jr. talked about it with us. He said there's buy-in. And I asked him, how fun is it playing in this system? He said there's always guys now on the defensive side. It's a team defense that this Clipper group plays with. And I think that energy, because everyone is bought into that system.
We saw Chris Dunn get 28 minutes. I believe he had 4 steals against the Golden State Warriors. Get Steph Curry into a steal where he cut off his driving lane and then got back on the pass for Steph Curry. I forget who it was. I think Kuminga in the left wing. But just an unbelievable defensive effort that kind of permeates throughout the team because you have so many guys come at you in waves defensively, and they almost energize each other. One guy gets a steal or a block or makes a fine defensive play. Yep. Then you see another one to star out in that area. But Chris Dunn has been, I think he's a defensive specialist when it comes to his perimeter defense, always has been. But he was almost out of the league at one point. Because offensively, he just hasn't been that guy. But defensively, it's been there.
Defensively, he's been there, Adam. Not only did he have 4 steals, he had 7 deflections against Golden State. I mean, ridiculous stuff. He's top 8 in the NBA in deflections per game right now, and 7 of those top 8 guys have played more minutes than him. So you think about how Chris Dunn's impact has been, despite the small sample size that he has maybe played. I would love to see him continue to get a greater role. Feels like he's earned a little bit of a bigger role with this team because, like you mentioned, he's been able to knock down the shot from outside the arc. He's been a reliable 3-point shooter to the start of this season. And I think the Clippers, with his defense, and like you said, the way it permeates around this group. I mean, you think about the Norm Powell play, the one you brought up. Norm gets the block, then he hits the long 2, and everyone's up and excited. Everyone's engaged. Everyone's enthused. There's nothing like that's going to be more motivating than seeing your teammate give 100%. And it feels like for the Clippers, that's been the key. Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, they all give 100%. And so far, it's paying off because that's permeating to the rest of the group.
We got people watching on the YouTube live stream at Clippers Talk from the wall.
From the wall?
Should I turn it around from the windows to the wall?
Can they see us?
I think they can. I got the laptop turned around now.
Oh, my
I don't
goodness.
know if they
Shout out
noticed
those
that.
people.
But it is a lot of fun here on the streaming side and a lot of fun with this Clippers second unit. We talk about Chris Dunn, but what they have going with Kevin Porter Jr., next to Chris Dunn, next to Amir Coffey, Nico Batum, and Ivica Zubac to start the second quarter and to start the fourth quarter the last couple of games, well, they're plus 10 out there with that unit. They're doing a lot of work, and even though they're still struggling at times offensively, they are creating extra possessions through turnovers for themselves to give them a little bit wider of a margin for error on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers, one of the things that Ty Lue mentioned that they want to improve on is taking care of the basketball. But like you said, because they've been excellent in other areas, they haven't had to worry about that on the offensive end. Their rebounding is some of the best in the NBA. Their transition defense, I think, has been excellent so far to start this season. Those are big emphasis points for this team. They want to rebound well. They've done that every single time, but they're going to be against a test today. When you think about this Portland team, Adam, the tallest team in the NBA on average is the Portland Trailblazers. So the Clippers, who have out-rebounded every single one of their opponents so far, this is going to be a team that might be a little tougher to keep the streak going. We'll see if they can take down this group. And you look who's warming up right now as we get a shot of the wall. DeAndre Ayton, one of their leading rebounders, dominating. Only played one game against the Clippers last year, actually. This is a Portland team that was marred with injuries all season. As you mentioned, playing a little capture the flag. We'll get into that earlier, but this is a team that hasn't won in LA, Adam, against the Clippers since 2018. So the Clippers are going to be playing against a hungry group on the other side.
It's going to be fun to see the big man battle tonight between DeAndre Ayton and Big Zoo. They go back a ways, a couple of different playoff series, obviously, the past few years between these two teams, but this is going to be a fun one here at Intuit Dome. Tip-off is just 48 minutes away. The Clippers cannot afford to overlook anyone, especially this early in the season, where teams have a lot of hope, are playing for a lot out there, including your Los Angeles Clippers. Coming up next, Carlo Jimenez will let him go because he has his one-on-one conversation with the head coach in Terance Mann. I'm Adam Osland, and you are listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Kind of agree, College 2025. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You didn't tell me.
I know. I didn't know until we walked out of the interview room. Sorry. It's going to be rotating this year, so I'll try to be on top of that stuff.
Is it? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Unfortunately. We'll do our best.
It's all good. We'll make it work.
He gave us 4 minutes. What's up, Zach? And I thought it was excellent, so it was good insight.
I like Beach Shaw.
No, if it's not Ty Lue, give me B Shaw all day.
What's the score here?
They added 3 runs. Bases clearing double.
Dodgers back up. You want to see a couple fans? Two-run game. Interesting question, Alfredo. Is it a broadcast custom when you put the screen down during the commercial? Put the screen down or the sound down? Like, I'm guessing you guys can still hear me right now, but you can't hear the commercials. When it's a road game and I'm in Burbank, I can't talk to you during the commercials. So it does go silent then, but when we're in Intuit Dome, it's different. Clippers taking on the Portland Trail Blazers from Intuit Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslem. This is Clippers Countdown. Tip-off just 46 minutes away. The Dome is home. Still to come, we'll go back in time in Clippers Rewind. But first, we're heading back over to Carlo Jimenez.
Welcome to Intuit Dome, home of the LA Clippers and world-class entertainment in Southern California. Before your show begins, we'd like you to know that your safety is our #1 priority. We prepared a short video to walk you through our evacuation process in case of an emergency. Please pay close attention and familiarize yourself with the following guidelines. Intuit Dome is equipped with multiple emergency exits located throughout the arena. These exits are clearly marked with illuminated exit signs. Take a moment to locate the nearest exit to your seat. Floor and club level fans will make their way up or down the aisles and through the portals on the main level. Terrace, Halo Loft, and Suite level fans should take the nearest emergency stairwell down the main level.
Carlo Jimenez there with assistant coach Brian Shaw as we are live from Intuit Dome. Tip-off just 42 minutes away. Clippers taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. If you're watching on the YouTube live side, at Clippers Talk is where you'll find it. You remember that big three-pointer that Amir Coffey made here, that long three, second half against the Phoenix Suns from about 30 feet out? By design. I'm watching him put up that shot right now. He practices that shot, Patrick Ewing. Yes, he does. 41 minutes away from tip-off. Clippers and Blazers, and up next, we'll go back in time on Clippers Rewind right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Follow their directions blindly and stay together with your team. In case of a minor injury, we have trained medical team members stationed on the floor, main and terrace levels, equipped to handle emergency medical needs. If you require medical attention, please notify the nearest arena team member. If you need to
So what, the Yankees just completely melted down, huh?
the nearest arena
If you know me, I'm from San Francisco, so not the biggest Dodger fan. Can you blame me? It's a rivalry. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Yes, we hope the Clippers have their time. Crowd's still a little light right now at Intuit Dome. I'm guessing some people watching that Dodgers game. It's World Series. It's understandable. Did they finally change the pitcher out? I just want to see Big Zoo get the best of DeAndre Ayton tonight. Is that too much to ask? It's time. Big RR64 says it. Come on, Clips. Let's go out there and get that dub. You didn't put the @ sign in there. @ follow automatic. Just playing, Ray. Big RR64 said it's going to be a glorious day when the Clippers win their first championship. From your lips to the basketball, or from your fingers to the keyboard to the basketball God's ears. Does that work? 3-1 is in the Dodgers lead in the series. So I think the score is 5-5 now. And the inning's finally over. Clippers and Portland Trailblazers. Tip time just 39 minutes away here at Intuit Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. It's Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we'll get to your player to watch, and Joey Lynn from SI Now will be here. But first, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. Back over 3 years here to October 26th of 2017. One of the best sequels ever was out, Blade Runner 2049, Bodak Yellow by Cardi B. That was at the top of the Billboard charts, and the Clippers were down late up in Portland and needed their star to step up.
Tonight, in honor of LGBTQ+ History Month, we proudly recognize Pride Night here at Intuit Dome. Today and always, the LA Clippers stand as allies with the LGBTQ+ community.
You know it's a big shot when Brian Seaman drops the hot damn, and it was the game-winning 3 from Blake Griffin. He finished with 25 points. The Clippers would win 104-103. Of course, Blake is an all-time Clipper great. And sounds like he may be on Amazon Prime sooner than later as their basketball analyst. And maybe, if you're watching on the YouTube live side, we can get his jersey somewhere retired up in the rafters. I know everybody has voted for him to be the first member of the Clippers to have his jersey retired here at Intuit Dome. Clippers tonight here at the Dome, taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Tip-off just 37 minutes away. Coming up next, your player to watch. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Tonight's Clipper Nation tip of the game is Samara Woodley. Thanks for
Gotcha.
being a part of the LA Clippers official Pixel on Samara. We hope you are enjoying the game with your family tonight. Your all-star.
I got you, Co. This is the behind-the-scenes look.
Featured also. Join tonight at
Oh, I got you, Cali 2025. What's that?
this election. Your voice could be a game changer. Make sure you are registered to vote.
Big Brother Jake said behind the scenes. You can see why he's excited now. It wasn't like this 10 minutes ago. Dude was down bad. If you guys rewind it, you'll see he had a frown that has been turned upside down. How are they going to give up 5 runs in an inning? What is this, Yankees? Are we trying to lose here? I'm a Giants fan. What do you want from me, bro? I don't know. If he wasn't just sitting that one, I want to move his stuff. Joey Lynn's here. Got a little bit of time before him. Try to go quick.
All donations benefit the LA Clippers Foundation, supporting local youth organizations and many causes at Town 30.
You can say they should be 3-0. You could also, if you're a fan of the other team, say they should have taken a loss to Denver or Golden State, but depends on how you look at it. You got like 5 minutes here, Joey.
Fans, please take a look at the People Award as we recognize all members of the 2024-25 Small Business Partner Program operated by 11 Sports Media. All of our small business partners are local, really great listeners.
All right. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Tip-off just 35 minutes away here at Intuit Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. This is the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers countdown still to come. We got Joey Lynn coming on from S-Side now, but while we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. We'll also have Carlo rejoin us and get to a league look around, but first. I know it's been a subject over just 3 games, but I will address it here. I'm watching Terance Mann. They do need more from him offensively. Now, while he got into foul trouble the first game here at Intuit Dome against the Phoenix Suns, I thought he was okay. 8-4, 5 assists. He was doing his thing. A couple of those fouls were very ticky-tack, and he would leave the game with about 3 minutes left. But he struggled in Denver, 0-4, 0-2 from 3. Struggled again offensively against the Golden State Warriors on Sunday. So I'm doubling down with having Terance Mann as my player to watch, even though if you follow me on X, I did post some of his defensive highlights. He directly led or affected 4 turnovers by this Clippers group with his defense and kept Steph Curry from getting some shots on early, who only attempted 6 at the half, and Terance Mann was one of the primary defenders on him. So I like what I've seen defensively. It's been okay. Offensively, he does need to put him up from the outside. He's 0-4 from 3. The number 4 is what is a little bit concerning. He's only attempted 4 3-pointers so far. Let's see if he can do that in a game tonight against the Portland Trailblazers. Terance Mann, my player to watch. Tip time just 33 minutes away. Coming up, we got Joey Lynn on from SI Now. Up next, your quick, ever so quick injury report right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
It's time to score big savings on how I know the game. Shop now before the runs out and secure your courtside supply.
Didn't know about the Thinking Basketball Podcast. You ever listen to the Thinking Basketball Podcast? What's the Thinking Basketball Podcast you're talking about, Ray? We got somebody who's at the wall.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Let's go, Yankees. I'm a Giants fan, bro. I'm not a Dodger fan.
I'm not a Dodger fan either, but I'm actually a Cleveland Guardians fan, so I want to see the Yankees go down.
Oh, I got you. Let's go, Yankees. Is that base hit, Jake? Did you see that?
Yeah, it is, and I want to sock you so bad right now.
Dodgers.
You heard that.
Yep, you did.
Threats are happening.
Dodgers
No.
got all the momentum right now.
Those are
man.
promises, not threats.
I'm a little bit concerned here.
Far from violent.
Who's ahead on
It's
your
fi-
2
it's
TVs?
tied
over
at
there?
5.
I'm ahead. I'm on MLB TV.
Tied at 5.
Bro, it would be 5-0 if Garrett Cole just covered first base.
That's what it was?
Yeah, it was bases loaded. The Dodgers were about to choke it, and
Oh my
Mookie hit a
God.
little dribbler down the line, and Cole did not cover first, and then Freddie got a base hit, and Teoscar got the bases clearing double to tie it.
they've had some of the most boneheaded defensive plays I've ever seen
The
by
Yankees?
a team in the World Series. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yankees in the series.
Yeah, it's been bad. I mean, they had several that inning. You had Volpe throw the ball away to third. You had Judge drop the ball out in center.
What is Soto double clutched in the glove in game 1?
Yeah.
I'm still.
No, I want to see the Yankees lose, and I want to see Soto leave.
This is what I'm saying, Tim Raines. I'm not a Dodger fan, mainly because Dodger fan seems to be a Lakers fan. That's a fact. They typically 99.9% of the time, Jake.
But the problem is
You
that
even used to be.
Clippers fans are also Dodgers fans, so
Some.
it's like you got to think about
Sparse.
that. You got to think about that as well.
Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Tip-off from Intuit Dome, just 30 minutes away here. Coming up, we got Joey Lynn on from SI Now. Well, we have a moment. Let's get to your injury report, brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code KLAC to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Got an update yesterday from Coach Lou at practice, talking about how Kawhi Leonard and Mo Bamba remain out, but they are progressing. I'll ask Joey Lynn about that coming up next from SI Now, as we are getting set for just the second regular season game ever in this building here at Intuit Dome. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers tonight, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. People in the chat want Jake to sock me. What's the situation, Jake?
It's first and second, 2 outs. Yankees at the plate.
Who's swinging?
Verdugo, lefty.
Ooh.
Yeah, former Dodger. 3-0
Can't
count
believe they even got Mookie in the first place for him.
for
That's so
Verdugo.
ridiculous.
I mean, he had a lot of height when he was young, but
He did.
yeah, it definitely that was one-sided.
I
Especially,
just, why are a team like the Red Sox all of a sudden going small market with it?
Yeah,
Like letting a guy like that go in his prime.
their fans still to this day are upset about that. and
Right?
it makes sense.
What happened?
Bases loaded, he walked him. Get Vesey out of here, dude.
Vesti's been good this year. So is it back to lefty righty?
Yeah, back to the top with Glaber.
Sure be a shame if there was another grand slam in this series.
No.
And Jake punched me in the face just as it happened. My man Jake is locked in. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers here at Intuit Dome. The world is mine. 27 minutes from now, we will tip off. Still to come, Carlo Jimenez, your radio broadcaster, will be back. We'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard. But first, we are joined by Joey Lynn from SI Now. Once again, he was here but away at the game up at Chase on Sunday. Joey, thanks for doing this.
Adam, thank you for having me on. It's my first one in the Intuit Dome, so this is special.
You're also live on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk. If you guys want to check out the beard off we're having right now, dueling beards. I mean, in the end, James Harden could walk up here and be like, guys, light work. This is easy. I got it over both of you. But I think I'm coming in third right now with the bronze medal. But that's still not too bad. Let's go back to something I talked about a little bit earlier, and it is the discussion regarding Mo Bamba and Kawhi Leonard. You were there yesterday at practice. Coach Lou said they are progressing. Do we know anything more than that? That is always going to be the $1.8 billion question, because that's how much this arena costed.
Yeah, I think you know the answer to that, Adam. It's just going to be kind of the way that this team operates, especially when it comes to Kawhi. They're going to they're gonna tell us. I mean, Brian Shaw said it himself, the company line, right? Like he used those words. So they're gonna just continue to tell us that he's progressing and coming along. But that's the case, right? Like it's not something that's untrue. He is progressing. He is coming along. They don't know exactly when it's gonna be, but they know he's out tonight. And they know he's out tomorrow, and probably several games after that. So that's just the current situation right now.
Make sure to follow Joey Lynn on X for any updates regarding Kawhi and Mo Bamba. Now, somebody who has, I don't even think it's so much he's progressed, and I know everyone wants to talk about Most Improved Player Award. To me, this is who Zoo could have been over the past couple of years if he just got the basketball more. Is that how you see it, or has he made some major jump this offseason?
No, it's exactly how I see it, and it's really kind of the question that I asked him the other day when we were in Golden State. It was either Golden State or Denver, one of the two places that we talked to him. But I asked him, I said, well, you've looked ready for this opportunity for a while. So how fun is it? So, obviously he's been asked a lot of questions about this and that and leaps and kind of like you mentioned. And for him, he's just having fun playing basketball, doing what he knows he's been capable of, what he's done with his national team, like he told us when I asked him that question. So, yeah, Adam, that's absolutely how I feel. I think that this is a guy who has shown us in spurts when he's been given opportunities in the past what he's capable of, and now the Clippers actually need it, so we're seeing it on a nightly basis.
We're seeing a team also getting into the paint at will. Coach Lou was talking about that a little bit pregame. Are you surprised just how much they're adhering to the drive, kick, swing, and also get to the paint or die trying mantras right now?
I'm not, because that's an efficient way to play offense. And this is a team that without Kawhi Leonard and without some of the star power that they've had in years past, they need to play the most efficient brand of basketball that they can. And this is what their personnel allows them to do. James, even at this stage of his career, is pretty good at doing that and getting inside and kicking out to shooters. And as Zoo talked about as well, because he had 6 assists in that game against Golden State, he said, well, if they're going to trap James, and they are, that's an opportunity for me to now play 4-on-3 and find some guys and find some shooters. And that's something that Zoo's done really well so far.
Is it encouraging, or should it be to Clipper Nation, that they're 2-1? They easily could be 3-0. They're not shooting the ball that well yet. They're 25th offensively when I checked the rating a little bit earlier today. And they're still so dominant on the defensive side that they can beat quality ball clubs on the road, no less.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, people will say, well, it's early, we got to see what happens. And that's true. But these games count all the same, right? When you look at the standings at the end of each season, it's always 1, 2, maybe 3 games that separate a team from a top 4 seed and maybe even being out of the play-in tournament entirely. So all of these games matter when you're talking about the really small margin of error that a lot of teams have in the Western Conference, but specifically this Clippers group that may not have as many stars, as much talent as they've had in years past, where they can maybe get away with dropping a game here and there because they know they're going to make it up later on in the season. These games matter, and I certainly think it's been encouraging what we've seen so far.
And looking at things from the other side, is there any concern with burnout with James Harden, who's over 37 minutes per game so far, that they just don't have that more reliable seasoned secondary ball handler, playmaker off the bench? I know they're looking for it, and they're giving KPJ a long leash right now. Is that the mindset from this coaching staff, you think? They're trying to see if he can dust out the cobwebs, Kevin Porter Jr., to see what they have?
Well, to answer your first question, it's absolutely a concern. It's something the coaching staff is aware of, but I don't think they prepared to have these first 3-4 games go the way that they have, right? Where you have a team that is going down to the wire pretty much every single night, and you need James to play big-time minutes. I think there's certainly a hope that a game like tonight, right? You're playing a Portland Trailblazers team that is not expected to make a lot of noise in the Western Conference, one of the few teams that's really not expecting to make a run at least the play-in tournament. You hope to not have to need James for 35, 37 minutes. But to answer your second question, that's absolutely what they hope of Kevin, and it hasn't happened yet, but I asked Ty pregame about that 10-game sample size that he looks at, right, where he's kind of waiting to see what develops before making changes. I understand the fan base wants to see changes made on a game-to-game basis, and sometimes those moves can feel obvious, and sometimes those moves are the ones that end up being made. But when you look at this Clippers team right now, Ty Lue's going to give them at least 10 games with his current rotation before making any changes.
I like that question you asked him earlier, because I always wonder how much of that is dependent on your record and where things are headed. And because they're 2-1, they have a chance, a great one tonight, to move to 3-1. Does that give you a little bit more time to figure some things out and give guys a little bit longer of a leash out there? I understand that part of it. I was also watching Jordan Miller warm up a little bit earlier today, and people want to talk about him, of course. if the Clippers could handle their business tonight, you can't overlook anyone in this league, but if they played to their potential against this Portland Trailblazers team, do you think they could get up in a way where Jordan Miller might get a few minutes here late?
You would hope so, but this is the NBA, as you mentioned, and it's early in the season. So if you were asking me this question in March, I would say, yeah, probably absolutely. But especially early in the season, you have a lot of guys out there on this Portland team that are playing for their NBA lives, and these are guys that are going to come out and they're going to compete. So you certainly hope the Clippers can take care of business tonight and give a guy like Jordan an opportunity to get some run in the fourth quarter. But you have to take care of your business. You certainly cannot come out here and expect that to happen.
What's the biggest concern when looking at this Portland Trailblazers team? I know internally the Clippers just can't overlook anyone right now. They don't have this massive talent disparity like they have in past seasons. But when you look at what Portland is capable of, they did beat up on New Orleans recently to get their first victory. What can the Portland Trailblazers pose as a real problem for this Clippers team?
Yeah, definitely just that effort and intensity that I was talking about. This is a group that's got a lot of young players that, kind of like I mentioned, or some of them playing for their NBA lives, and that's a level of urgency the Clippers are going to have to match. And I will say one thing I've been encouraged by so far through the first few games for this Clippers team is that they haven't had that, I don't exactly know how to describe it, but I think you know what I mean, where in years past, they would come out a little bit flat, right? They wouldn't always start the way that you would hope to see for a team that has the expectations that they have. Haven't seen any concerns with that for this Clippers group. I do think they're coming out every single night looking to set the tone early, looking to have a defensive mindset. So that encourages me when you're going up against a Portland Trailblazers team where really the biggest concern would be intensity and effort.
We'll see if the Clippers can be shot out of a cannon here at Intuit Dome in just their second regular season game here. Tonight they're taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Tip-off is 19 minutes away. He is Joey Lynn. He writes for SI Now, covers the Clippers there. At Joey Lynn with 2 N's and an underscore at the end is where you find him on X for all those awesome Kawhi updates that everybody wants. Joey, thanks for doing this here on Clippers Countdown.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Coming up next, we will get to an NBA League look-around right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Joey Lynn's a star. If you didn't know, now you know. What's the score here, big bro? Big bro's still mad at me. Every time he looks, he's staring daggers right through me. He might punch me in the face. I was of the thinking that Carlo was a Giants fan too, so he was probably not rooting. I'm trolling. Coming up next, NBA Out of Town scoreboard chat. Ray, enjoy the game. Get charged. You can charge it at your seat. What's the problem, Ray? What do you mean? There's no excuse here. I don't like this comment actually now. This guy's running out on Clippers talk at Intuit Dome because his phone's not charged. No excuses here, man. They got a plug in at every seat. How dare you? Big RR64 saying Big Zoo has been really impressive. I mean, he has been. I also think he's been capable of this forever. If you know me, I'm Zoo's biggest supporter and advocate. I was retweeting myself from 2021 the other night. Feed him. Feed it. Whatever. Wired headphones? Nobody has wired headphones. I don't believe that for a second. I'm just kidding, Ray. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers here at Intuit Dome. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Oslin. Tip-off just 16 minutes away. Still to come, we got Carlo Jimenez. But first, let's get to your drive around the league. Brought to you by Toyota's electrified lineup, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, all electrics, and even fuel cell electric vehicles. So you can choose exactly the type you need for your lifestyle. We make it easy. Late in the fourth quarter, Bulls lead the Magic 97-95. Nikola Vucevic has 18 and 14. 2-point lead with under 2 minutes left for Chi-Town. A little bit earlier, it was the Pacers handing the Celtics their first loss. It took OT, but Pascal Siakam had 29 and 11 in the victory. Jason Tatum still had 37, 8, and 4 steals in defeat. Celtics dropped to 4 and 1. Miami would lose at home to the New York Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns with 44 and 13. Tyler Hero with 34 and 7 assists in the loss. One more for you. Ooh, the Philadelphia 76ers drop one again. They're 1 and 3. Obviously, still don't have Paul George, no Joel Embiid. The Pistons beat them in Philly 105-95. Cade Cunningham with 22 points and 7 assists. Tyrese Maxey with 32 in defeat. And oh man, the Cavaliers just destroyed the Lakers. What a shame. 134-110. Cavs over the Lakers. Jarrett Allen had 20 and 17 in the win. Fear the Pro. Clippers taking on DeAndre Ayton. Good big man battle tonight between him and Big Zoo. Clippers and Blazers tipping off 15 minutes from now here at Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. I know there's Clippers fans that are also Dodgers fans.
What?
But let me tell you a secret. The vast majority of Dodger fans are Laker fans.
Right now, it's all about the Dodgers. We don't care about the Lakers right now.
David Vesse just tweeted out.
When do you care about them, Jake? Just wondering.
Not often at all.
Oh,
What did
not
David
often,
Vesse
not
have
often.
to say? What did David Vesse have to say? That's my guy.
You're texting with Vasse, Carlo?
Yeah.
What did he say?
What? Walker Buehler is in the bullpen.
Good.
Wait, you know Vasse?
No, I'm just kidding. He tweeted it.
Man, I'm about to say, I know him.
Carlo, the fraud allegations are getting tough to beat. How dare you? You think that's a white lie?
Maybe. If I saw a tweet,
I just didn't know you guys were tight like that.
when anyone's tweet who I like visibly see, we're automatically friends. Just like, yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. Game stats. Wish this was like zoomed in a little bit.
They not like us.
What is scoring updates? Oh, what the heck?
What's the score? My Yankees up?
Wow.
Jake is definitely punching me.
My Yankees up, he says.
Keep cheering for him, please.
F around and find out, says Jake. Still boys though, right? Tip off from Intuit Dome just 12 minutes away. Clippers taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Just game 2 here at the Dome. Home is Dome in the regular season for your Los Angeles Clippers. Excited for this one. Still to come, we'll get to your keys to victory. But first, back over to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo talked a little about the Portland Trail Blazers with Joey Lynn from SI Now earlier. But what are their strengths? Where could they hurt the Clippers right now?
They're, like we talked about, they're a tall team, Adam. They also like to create a lot of turnovers. They like to force turnovers. They want to push the basketball. Chauncey Billups has been talking about how this team wants to run in transition. If you remember last year, they were 5th in the NBA at forcing turnovers, and they pretty much have the same lineup from a year ago. Didn't change much. You trade away Malcolm Brogdon. You bring in Denny Avdia, but pretty much it's all the same faces in the same places for the Portland Trail Blazers. So the question for the Clippers is going to be, can you hang on to the rock? Because while they have excelled to start the year, I thought Brian Seaman brought up a great point in the pregame press conference. They've excelled with still so much room to grow. We've yet to see even close to the ceiling for this Clippers team. And so the question is going to be, can they maybe take a step towards reaching that ceiling level.
Clippers averaging 19 turnovers per game. They're still 2-1. James Harden is responsible for 7 of those turnovers, but he's also responsible for 12 assists per ball game. We know how taxing it is having to run the show. He's got a high usage rating, and I think that accounts for some of the lower field goal percentages and shooting percentages right now. But James Harden is in control of this offense. And when they are scoring, when they are humming and looking like a well-oiled machine, it's because of the bearded wonder.
It really is. I mean, James Harden, Adam, you talked about that usage rate. He's averaging 38 minutes a game right now, and he's got the 5th highest usage rate in the NBA of anybody who's played 3 or more games. So the offense flows through him, but it kind of has to at times with this Clippers team. Either KPJ's got to get going for the Clips or somebody like Amir Coffey off the bench, because this bench unit without Norman Powell is searching for someone to step up. We've talked about how there's more opportunity for the starters. There's also a ton of more opportunity for the bench unit. The question is going to be who's going to be that Norm 2.0 and give you 16, 17 a night. The Clippers obviously giving Kevin Porter Jr. a lot of leeway so far, but don't be surprised if Amir Coffey starts to find his rhythm offensively, coming off 8 points in the last game on 3 for 5. I think he's a candidate, especially considering, Adam, he plays down the stretch late in games constantly for this Clippers team to maybe take that step forward.
Had a very good first game offensively, especially here at Intuit Dome. 4 of 4, 2 of 2 from the outside. Had that long 3-pointer against the Phoenix Suns. Saw him practicing that shot a little bit earlier. It wasn't by happenstance. He does put in the work. I'm hoping my player to watch, Terance Mann, can really shine in these 2 games here on the back-to-back, the home back-to-back for the Clippers. He hasn't been able to find his offense yet, but we know it's in there. We have a lot of data to look to for how Terance Mann can turn this around.
Feels like the perfect game for him to turn that around, Adam. You got a Blazers team on the other team that's young, that's still trying to figure out who they are, how they play on that side of basketball. Portland last season, second to last in the NBA in defensive rating. So sometimes, similar to baseball, it only takes one chance. And then once the ball starts rolling, things can get going. And right now the question is going to be, can Terance Mann maybe have that game that something happens from, as you say, Adam, maybe something can be born from this performance with Terance Mann.
Look, Nico Batum said it first, okay, back in 2021. I'm just taking it from our favorite Frenchman. Now, I'm going with Terance Mann as my player to watch.
I like it.
Did you just leak yours? Is it Nico Batum? Who's your player to watch for the Clippers?
Of course it's Nico Batum. He's going against his old team, 7 years with this Portland team. He's a team high plus 31 through 3 games at him, but he really hasn't done it offensively at all. He hit his first 3 with the Clippers, including preseason last time out when the Clippers took on the Golden State Warriors on Sunday. So the question is going to be, can Nico Batum maybe be more effective on the offensive end? I think he's somebody who could step up a little bit on that side of the ball. Not that he needs to. He's played excellently for this Clipper team. He's done everything they've asked him to do and more, but just an opportunity for him to maybe get more comfortable shooting the ball a little bit more on offense.
Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Tip-off just 8 minutes away. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers here at Intuit Dome. And coming up next, I'll give you my keys to victory right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Yeah!
Thank you, Zach.
Yankees got one.
Oh, what a shame. Okay, I got chill. What inning is it? I don't even know.
Bottom 6. Plenty of baseball left, big bro.
How'd they get it?
Sack fly.
No, I want Jake to explain. Just playing. I'm sorry.
A fight is about to break
I'm
out
cruising for a bruise.
in this booth.
Because I'm a professional, it was a sack fly.
You guys hear that, Jake? Or excuse me, you guys hear Jake?
I'm a professional. We might have a new replacement for Adam come tomorrow.
People have wanted that for a long time.
Oh, by the way, guys, I got told
We're live.
we're on the concourse in the arena. So if you come to a game and you're like, man, I don't want to miss the game, but I really have to go to the bathroom, don't worry. You'll hear our voices while you go to the bathroom.
No better place.
No, but I mean, let me tell you, sometimes I wish I could hear Adam while I'm in there.
Just call me, dude. I'm okay with those uncomfortable conversations. James Bond asked, will the Clippers win today? I think they can win it.
You think?
I believe.
I believe that we will win. Zach Elkalbi.
Ooh, Norm showing off the bounce. Bounce, bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I can't see that anymore. Not allowed. Clippers and Blazers from Intuit Dome. Tip-off just minutes away. Let's get to your keys to victory. As Carlo Jimenez pointed out earlier, he had it first. This Portland Trailblazers team, they got a lot of tall guys. They got some length to them. They've been rebounding the ball very well so far. The Clippers have too, but it could be a battle for the boards tonight. We'll see who comes out on top there. And I mentioned it, 19 turnovers per game so far by the Clippers. They have to clean things up. You don't want to get Portland in transition and getting them some easy buckets and giving them confidence and life early. All right, here we go. It's Carlo Jimenez on the call. Clippers and Blazers from Intuit Dome, and tip-off is coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Don't go anywhere, Adam.